Hello, welcome to the City of Healing. It's late tea. Hope you all doing well. This is Angela, and just wanted to come forth briefly, just to do a brief share. I'm lighting a soy candle, more environmentally conducive, but the scent or aroma of this candle is coconut milk mango. Got it from Whole Foods, and they not as well. This one isn't as fragrant as Bath and Body Works, candles, but it's nice. Um, like I said, name of it is coconut milk mango. It doesn't smell like coconut at all. It's very mild scent. It's more fruity, and fruit candles are okay, and particularly with this one because it's not really strong. It's okay. Anyway, I just wanted to light the candle. I love candles, as I've said 1,000 times. But anyway, this is a nice little soy candle that I got at Whole Foods, and they have, various sizes. And this particular one, I think, was about $10. It go up a little higher. It's about 15, and then the other one's like 20. So it's a little pricey, but I'll try it. I have other soy candles, but I thought this was really pretty. You know, I think there are little pyramids all around it. But anyway, I digress. But I'm having a little late tea to help mellow me out, even though I'm fine. Not stressed. I don't feel anxious or anything like that. But getting ready for a nice, restful evening. Enjoying my sweet rose tea. It's very mellow from Tulsi, which is holy basil, and I've shared it before. But anyway, it's delicious, no sugar added, still on my sugar fast, and doing good. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Kephra, which Kephra means transform, rebirth, resurrect. And I shared on my previous video, Spiritual Protection, the story of how I found, or my dung beetle or scarab beetle led me to it on the eclipse of 2017. And as I mentioned, I was in a meditative state, trying to um, come in terms with what the eclipse meant to me and my message that I got during meditation that day, which is the ancestors are here. And I was just in a meditative state, questioning, trying to understand. And I went for a walk, and I ended up at a thrift store. And I walked to the back of the thrift store, and I looked to, look up, and there was this turquoise beetle. I hadn't studied it or was looking for it or no significance to me until, I saw it. And I was like, don't tell me that's what I think it is. So I walked closer. I said, that is a dung beetle, but I bet it's not, what the real dung beetle, because if it did, it'd have inscriptions on the bottom of it. So I pick it up and turn it, and sure enough, it does have some inscription on it. So this is my scarab beetle. My son has since, been in, my room, him and his dog, and it fell off the shelf and it broke. And when it did, he told me when I found it this evening, because I can tell, if anything is misplaced in my house or if someone's been in my house, I can tell, you know. But anyway, I immediately, when I go in my room, knew something was different or off. And I finally decided or discovered that it was this. It was broken. And when I found the dung beetle, it only was missing one leg. And now it doesn't have any legs. But anyway, I'm still keeping it, still honoring it. But anyway, this is the inscription that it had on the bottom of it, as you can see. And some of my coworkers, I was so happy. They helped me to try to translate it. And I put it on my Facebook page, and I don't remember exactly how I transcribed it, which I should, but it's within me for some reason. It comes out in various ways, but I believe it said, look to the rainbow, the kingdom of heaven. I know that kingdom of heaven was definitely there, is open to you. Um, I believe that was basically the gist of it. But it's just like finding a celebrity or meeting a celebrity. I was like, and it was like, my coworkers like, wow, once I told them the story and all that. What a coincidence, right? Synchronicities. There's no such thing, right? But anyway, I was so happy about that. That's my little friend. I keep at my on my altar, at my door, in a certain position. So very proud of it. Anyway, this dung beetle was revered by the ancient Egyptians, and I say revered because I think we have misunderstood a lot about worship, especially from the ancient Egyptians. And it wasn't that they did not know that there was a source or a one true God, but they understood that nature spoke a lot to us, and we could learn a lot from nature. So they loved nature, and they got different meanings about life from nature, and so they used a lot of metaphors and teachings about life, our bodies, and the cycle of life from nature. And so they observed that this dung beetle, this scarab beetle, was a very hardworking animal or insect. And what it did was it went into dung or bowel movement of animals or whatever. And it got what it needed from it and rolled it into a ball. And when it felt that it was lost, it would get on top of the dung. And some people describe it as doing a little dance because it was maneuvering. And what some people have discovered that, even though it looks like a dance, what it was actually doing was navigating towards the sun or the stars to find its way back home. And so what they compare that to, was the sun. And so that sun god, which was the god of the sunrise, was Khafre. And Khafre resurrected, every morning at sunrise. So that's why they describe this dung beetle in reference to Khafre moving the sun across the skies, just like the dung beetle rolled the dung across the land, as above, so below, right? So this metaphor, this comparison, was very profound and very much so. They did this dung beetle because they were so amazed with it that they even found that, even though they work with this and with their strong legs, because what they did, they used their hind legs to roll it across the plain. But they also not only ate in it, they worked with it, they mated in it, they put their larvae in it, and when it was time, the little baby caterpillars would turn into actually the dung beetle, and they would resurrect with their wings out of the dung like the phoenix from the ashes. So that was a great resurrection because it had its wings so it could fly and soar, So that was very profound, and you will see that symbol a lot of the dung beetle and the wings, the resurrection from the dung, from the least likely place into something great. So that was the comparison of nature to life and greatness for humans as well. Now, some people may say, yeah, that's doesn't sound right, that we are comparing ourselves to dung or bowel movements from animals to life and greatness. And I was like, yeah, murky waters, and we resurrect from the most unlikely places to become great. And also, not only that, they are very good with agriculture as well. It was very metaphorical to observe that they use, the dung beetle in agriculture as well. And even they do now, they even transport, dung beetles from different places to their crops or to their animals, because what the dung beetles would do is they would maneuver it or move it out of the way, so that the animals can graze and clean land. And if, dung or bowel movement stay, the land can become toxic. So these dung beetles, even though they mess around, we think that it's um, not good or messy or yucky, as some of my kids would say. Is actually something very profound and beautiful, and a very good comparison to, the cycle of life and understanding nature and agriculture. And, it's just a profound thing to watch. And when I was younger, uh, we used to play with dung beetles. We call them June bugs. And June bugs were actually the brown ones, the light brown ones that you mostly see at night. And we also saw the green ones and the fluorescent ones and the light colored green ones as well. And we used to do some terrible things that I won't mention that we did. But these dung beetles, the green ones, we saw them in, on the animal dungs, in the country. But the brown ones, I didn't really notice that they were there, but I guess maybe they were. But there's so many different types of dung beetles. I mean, wow. But the most that the Africans used, or the ancient Egyptians used, were the black ones. So that's the one you'll see reference to, from Africa or ancient Egypt, that they used, to honor or give reverence to this type of dung beetle. And they also, you will see it on the hieroglyphics as well, and around King Tut's funerary, or his grave site, or whatever you call it. Not grave site, I'm sorry, but his tomb. You will find it placed over his heart with a certain inscription on it. And I don't remember what the inscription says, but basically it's something about the afterlife that they may not be able to say themselves, but they would want the afterlife to know them or remember them by. They'll have it on the inscription on the scarab beetle. And also they used it as amulets. They used it in their jewelry. Like I said, they used it in different types of jewelry. And I know now in certain places, especially in Iraq and different parts like that, they make gold cartouches. And the cartouche, basically, you have the scarab in it, but basically cartouche is protection over your name, and or you as a person, but it's basically protection over your name. And they have the scarab beard in there as well. But anyway, I just really wanted to come forth and just mention about Kefra, resurrection, and the sun god Kefri. And he is depicted as a man body, but the scarab beetle face. And we all think that nothing of bowel movement or dung, but it has a lot of nutrients in it, and basically it fertilizes our land greatly when we do it correctly. And the dung beetle knows that, and the ancient Egyptians know that. And they reminded us Thank you. They reminded us to resurrect and become anew every day. We kefra, you know. We resurrect and we have another opportunity to make every day great, to be reborn anew. It's not just on Easter. It's every day. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city, and I hope you all have a great evening. Take care.